Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another day, another Wednesday edition of 30 NSG. On today's show, we're talking about nothing, like a Seinfeld episode. I just got back from the dentist. I was not going to go live this morning, but you know what? I can't help it. I got to go live. I got to do it. It's like people go to the gym every day. People do stuff every day. I have to stream. I have to go live Monday, Monday through Thursday. So, I don't have any specific topics I'm going to be talking about. We're more like going to go through the news, talk about random stuff. That's what we're doing. I have nothing planned this morning. I didn't look at any news stories. I had to go to the dentist this morning. That's a whole story in itself. So that's what happened this morning. And I'm going to be doing it again on Friday. So I got to let Lono know that I can't do the show if we're going to do a show this week. I can't do Friday, and then Monday I'm gonna have to go back. So lots of dentist stuff, not good stuff either. So lots of stuff. What's going on, Kuda Papa? What's going on, Mo? What are we gonna talk about today? I gotta fix my camera. The camera seems like it's too low. There we go. So they put in the dent. Oh yeah, yeah. That it's gonna cost a pretty penny. It's gonna cost a pretty penny. Those that you didn't know, because I don't really talk about stuff like this. I've been, and it doesn't look like it, but I've been in extreme pain for over a month now. I have a tooth up here that is literally just, it's got to get pulled. And I have a really high threshold for pain, like super high. Like you could stab me with a knife and I wouldn't react. You know what I mean? Like I'm really good with pain. Okay, like the military would love me. Like if I got captured, and it was like, they were sawing off fingers and stuff, I wouldn't speak. But so I've had this pain in my face for over a month now. So I finally got in to the dentist. I know this is gonna be shocking, but I've never been to the dentist. That's not true. I went once when I was like 20. I'm 45. I just never, just didn't need to go. Should have went, and now I'm paying for it physically, and in the wallet. So I can take a needle. I just can't look at it going in me, but I can. It's weird. Like it's very, very strange. Yeah, so it was a good experience today. Good experience. Nice place, nice people. They explained everything to me, what I have to do. So they have to prep it first, right? They have to clean the area first. Then they're gonna clean the other side, and then they're gonna go in on Monday and yank. So I don't think I'll be able to speak. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'll be able to do or not do. Dentists will charge you an arm and a leg. No, they charge you your teeth. They charge you your teeth. Yeah, it's crazy expensive. Let's just say I would rather make a monthly payment towards a brand new computer, or I would rather take a monthly payment. I would rather take a monthly payment for a brand new super ultra wide monitor than to pay for the dentist. So it is what it is. It is what it is. It's really cool. Really cool. I got to see my teeth, like what my face looks like, right? Exactly, Rose. Exactly. Oh, Rose, while I was at the dentist, I was watching, oh no, it's Alex. He had a video on the topic we were talking about at the very end. And he makes some good points. And yesterday when we were going back and forth, it does look bad on them. Now, I still stand where I stand yesterday as far as I'm okay with them doing what they're doing. But he brought up some good points. And when I was reading it yesterday when we were on stream, because it was live, I didn't get any thought process. You know what I mean? It was just read it, instant reaction. It does seem like it's, and I don't know if you guys saw, oh no, it's Alex's video this morning about the topic, about Starfield, about them responding to the reviews, that they're going back to the negative reviews, right? He looked it up, and remember when I was reading yesterday, and I didn't put two and two together. When we were reading the article yesterday, and we were reading the one section paragraph, and then we went to the next one, and I was like, oh, it's the same, and I kind of skipped it. It didn't even occur to me that it was AI. It didn't even occur to me that it was AI. And when I was watching Oh No, It's Alex this morning, he was doing the same thing. He was reading it, right? And he obviously had more time to read and do research and stuff because he said he did the research. And when he was reading, he was like, wait a minute. This is the same as the one before. And I was like, oh. And right then, the light bulb went off, and I was just like, these are not real replies. This has to be some AI, because it's the exact same copy pasta. And I didn't even think about that. In my head, when I was reading yesterday, I thought it was them just literally manual person, copy pasta type of thing, and putting it in. But it does seem like it's a AI response to the stuff. But I still stand by what I said yesterday, as far as I don't look at it as, I don't know. I look at it differently before I was a content creator, right? Like if I was in a content creator and people, because it's not about, and it's all, and Alex says it perfectly. He says it's all about context and how it's delivered. And I think you're right, Rose. The way they did it, I find it humorous the way they did it, but you're absolutely correct. The way they did it, it does come across as immature. Yeah. And I see that now after reading it, thinking about it, and then watching what he said. And I was just like, you know what? He makes good points. And you made good points yesterday. No, you're not tripping, Soy. I went to the dentist this morning. And Monday is going to be the same. Monday, there might not be any stream in the morning, because I'll be actually getting the tooth pulled on Monday. So I don't know how I'll feel afterwards. Oh, that's what I was saying. So when I went to the dentist this morning, right? For what game? Oh, for Starfield. For Starfield, dude. So yesterday, right at the tail end of the show yesterday, I forget who came in. Someone came in and brought up that, did you see the reviews of Starfield, or the articles written about Starfield, about them responding to the negative reviews? And we read it live on stream, and then I gave my initial thought. So yeah, I don't know if it's AI, but it does seem like AI. Now that I think about it after I saw Alex's video. You feeling high afterwards? I don't know. I might be numb. Maybe I can't even speak. I have no idea. I gotta get a tooth. I found a lot of interesting stuff this morning about my mouth situation, right? I got an extra tooth. Okay, which is funny because I'm missing a tooth there. I lost it when I was 20, right? And I lost the baby tooth when I was 20. And there was no tooth underneath it. And I was like, all right, cool. Never fixed it. Everything's fine there. No worries, right? Then when I went today, they did an x-ray and stuff. And they're like, did you know you have an extra tooth? I was like, an extra tooth? They're like, yeah. So up here somewhere in my upper area, I have an extra tooth. An extra adult tooth. Like, I have the adult teeth, And then there's an extra tooth that's back there, right? And I was just like, huh, that's pretty cool. And then they said, oh, and your wisdom teeth never came in. And I was like, I know. Because people that had their wisdom teeth pulled, and my wife says, oh, the wisdom teeth, when they came in, they were excruciating. I was like, I never had that problem. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, never had that problem. And today I found out that I'll never have that problem. The teeth are up in my face, but they never came out. And the doc's like, yeah, we won't do anything. They're just going to stay there. I was like, cool. So I found out that I have 3 teeth that never actually came in. Yeah, Dustin, that rip emote is a one. I had to claim the last emote. We're actually going to replace that with Sarge's. Krebsy posted it into Discord. We're gonna put Sarge's face as one of the emotes. It's a really funny face when he froze, and it's like he's screaming and stuff. It's a good face. So we're gonna do that. Rose says, give it a couple days. They'll be tweeting apologies for reeling it back in. Well, they did. So inside Juicehead, while I was watching, oh no, it's Alex's video. He was talking about Juicehead, and Juicehead's a big content creator for Bethesda games and whatnot. He actually said they did the same thing for criticism for Fallout 76, and then they reeled that back in when people started complaining. So I think you're 100% correct, Rose. They'll probably do the exact same thing you're saying right now. Eclipse says, yeah, it was just weird that they didn't even post on the positive reviews at all. It just went for the negative. Like, why not say something to the people that liked it? Well, that's what I was saying. I didn't do the research, Eclipse, but I said yesterday, I was like, I wonder if they did the positive. I said that yesterday. I was like, I'm sure they did positive, but I didn't do the research. Now, if they didn't do any of the positive, that would be a little weird, right? Just commenting to the negative. Now, see, they would help their cause if they respond to the negative and they also responded to the positive, because then they're just responding. They're not being like immature, you know, where they're just responding to the negative. Let's go on, Smoothie. Like I said, because it became I'm Sony fanboy thing, you don't see Insomniac doing that on Twitter to people who gave Spider-Man 2 negative reviews or people crying it's woke. They just let it go. No, I get that, Rose. Yesterday, I wasn't bringing up when we got into when the goalposts move after that conversation about the open world and stuff like that. That wasn't a PlayStation, Xbox thing. That was comparing open world games. I'm confused. I thought you weren't streaming today. I wanted to go live, Sarge. It's like going to the gym. You know, like when you work out, you work out. And I wasn't going to. I had things like I just got out when I texted you. I just got out of the dentist office. I ate breakfast real fast. I came home and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go live for an hour, hour and a half, whatever it is. I got to go live. Because if I don't go live and do something, that's just that extra day that I'm missing content. I'm missing, interaction. I'm trying to grow my channel, so you gotta do it. And I want to keep consistent. I'm kind of upset that I missed an hour and a half because I'm usually right on the money at 10 o'clock. I'm trying to see if there's anything going on here. No, my desk shows up next week. When I'll be getting my teeth yanked, that's when it shows up. I think it shows up on the 4th, 5th. It shows up on the 5th. Yeah, Tuesday. My dentist thing's on the 4th. Yeah, Rose, and if I did, I would own up to it. Just like I own up. I'm too old to, and I've grown up a lot from when I was younger, okay, where my thought mentality was, no, I don't want to admit that I was wrong. 100%, I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I thought Bethesda was responding to Steam reviews, not tweets. they're responding to the Steam reviews. I don't know about the tweets. The tweet thing is something different, I think. Read the directions carefully. I put the desk backwards and had to re-screw it. And it made joints loose. Okay. Well, you could always what's it called? You could always redo that, Sarge. Like, you can get bigger screws to fill in that gap. You could, like, re-drill the holes and then just put a bigger, if you wanted to fix it. I love this. Akuta Papa posted this. I think Akuta Papa posted it. Beyond Good and Evil 2, right? Which I think this is hilarious, guys. Right? This is hilarious. Where's my? Beyond Good and Evil 2's 20th anniversary edition is coming out, right? Beyond Good and Evil 2 has been worked on for 16 years. Think about that for a second. The game came out 20 years ago. 4 years later, they started working on Beyond Good and Evil 2. We heard about it in 2017, and since then, okay, so that means in 2007 is when they started. 2008 is when they started. We heard about it like 10 years into the development cycle, and here we are 16, I think almost 17 years now. Beyond Good and Evil 2, not coming out. But you're getting the 20th anniversary edition. So, looks like the cat's out of the bag. Dang nabbit. Happy 20th anniversary for Beyond Evil 2. We cannot wait to show you more. The special edition and more news coming in early 2024. It's hilarious to me. It's like, oh yeah, we're still fixing games. We're going to give you a remake, remaster, anniversary edition. Oh, that other game? Don't worry. We have Skull and Bones coming. Don't worry. Skull and Bones is coming out. That's been in the making for 11 years. Oh, for sure, bros. Look, you know, you've been here long enough. And I think in the very beginning when you came and you started watching the show, right? You were, right, more protective. And then you realized that I wasn't a hater of PlayStation. I'm just a gamer, right? Like, enjoy where you want to enjoy your games. I will never criticize anybody what system you're playing on or in any way, shape, or form. Like, just enjoy a game. Right? A lot of people like to come in and and I'm not saying you in any way, shape, or form, but a lot of people like to come in and project because they're an Xbox person or a PlayStation person that I'm the opposite of whatever they are. So they can have this like banter back and forth. Now, as a content creator, I should probably change this up here. As a content creator, right? Of course, it's nice to be able to talk about things, to have topics and to go back and forth with. But I don't have a flag in any side. Right? I don't have a flag. And people think I lie about it. I don't have a flag. I have an Xbox because that's what suits my situation with my son and playing games together and just what it is. Right? I have nothing against Sony. I have nothing against Microsoft. I have something against the industry. I have something against consumer protection. I have something against developers that release games that are broke, buggy, unfinished. I have a lot of skepticism, right, about a lot of stuff. But that's how I am. I don't bleed one color or the next. But people love trying to come in and be like, you are not. I'm not a purist in any way, shape, or form when it comes to PC gaming. I mean, I used to PC game all the time. Then I started console gaming because it was just more convenient. And now that I sit at a desk, I kind of lean back more. I like playing PC games, but because my setup is not the best setup, and when I say setup, like as powerful computer and whatnot, and when streaming, I just don't play a lot of PC games on stream. You can see it when we play, what's it called? Lord of the Rings, right? Kind of hitches and stuff a little bit. So I'm not giving the best experience. But at the same time, I'm not a streamer that has 2 PC setups and $4,000, dollar 2 systems and with 4090 graphic cards and stuff. Xbox CFO Tim Stewart says the mission is to bring first-party games and services to every screen. That means smart TVs. Bring this up. That means smart TVs. That means mobile devices. That means what we would have thought the competitors in the past, like PlayStation and Nintendo. I mean, I've been saying that. I've been saying that for years for them, huh? Eclipse says, hell no. I have a PlayStation 5, and I would say it collects dust because I don't play it too often because my PC is built better. And I like playing stuff on my PC. I just love gaming. Doesn't matter what it's on. Exactly. Right? And again, I mean, come on, we play some shitty games. Right? I enjoy some shitty games. Okay? I'm not blinded by my love for Marvel's Avengers, right? I love Marvel's Avengers, the comics. I loved playing video games growing up with any character. I love going to watch the movies, not Phase 4 or 5 or anything after those. Okay. I just love that IP and brand. So when Marvel's Avengers came out, I was already going in loving that IP, but I know that game was crap. I know that game was crap. Doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. I mean, those of you that watch me play Hulk, like the smile from ear to ear when I played and smashing things, it's awesome. Someone was playing PlayStation 5 Modern Warfare 3, got a bug, and was asking how to fix it. Me playing Modern Warfare 3 on PC instead of a substandard platform, PC MR. All right, so this one says, and none of this is planned, by the way. I didn't read any of this. I didn't do any kind of research. I'm literally flipping through Twitter as we're live here. Xbox CFO discussed opportunities with AI and how Microsoft measures its success in games and more. You know what? I might make a video of this later. I'm not going to do this right now. But let me pop it in there so I don't miss it. Unless someone already posted this. Let's see. General gaming, news stories. Someone posted this. All right. So Tim Stewart, Xbox Chief Financial Officer, discussed the opportunities alleged created by AI and developers in games. The acquisition of Activision Blizzard is now Microsoft's measure in success in gaming. Today, Xbox Chief Financial Officer, Corporate Vice President, Finances and Operations. Man, that's a long freaking title, huh? I think people just like to make long titles in front of their name. Spoke about the application of the AI in gaming business and acquisition of Activision Blizzard, the business model based on Game Pass, and how Microsoft measures success in gaming at the Wells Fargo TMT Summit. During the live stream conference, Stewart mentioned that he was, quote, never been more excited about technology shift in the gaming landscape, as he is with AI, comparing it with an inflection point. For Microsoft is swift from discs to consoles, online games as a service like Fortnite and Minecraft. He then described what sees as an advantage of AI for developers. Why do they have Hermione there? Relevant? Okay. Let's see. On the consumer side, Stewart brought up as an example a player in Minecraft meeting Hermione from Harry Potter, driven by AI, running through Hermione's scripts and having a nice, unique moment. I'm confused here. Let me read this part up here. On a developer side, we think that millions and millions of dollars in the game's spent localization script. How do you think about a player moving from point A to point B, and you're a non-player character having a dialogue? AI can now take care of all of that. You now say, I need a player to get from A to B. Instead of having to write thousands of lines of scripts of code, you just have AI get you from A to B. Things like localization, putting things in new languages. When we think about the game's testing, 1 million AI bots can run through a level of Minecraft and find where players get stuck, where they spend money, and then they think about the level. So in the in this pun intended, game changing for developer. All right, so now let's continue. On the consumer side, Stuart brought up as an example of a player in Minecraft meeting Hermione from Harry Potter, driven by AI, running through Hermione's script and having a nice, unique moment. Moving back to the development side, Stuart mentioned that it's also 100,000 game developers in the world across all companies, and with the AI, you can generate code, instant games, or instance games and art assist, opening up the ability for anyone in this room to be a game developer. That, according to Stuart, changes things from 100,000 game developers to millions and millions. Well, yeah, that means everyone... you still need someone to know what they're doing, right? So he says here, the barista in the local Starbucks is an awesome idea for game, and they know that they also co-pilot AI to go create the great mobile experience. So basically what he's saying, before I continue reading, is that he's saying that everybody that wants to be a game designer now can be a game designer, because you can also be a script writer. You can also be whatever you want, children's book writer, okay? You can write the next Game of Thrones because you are not writing anything. You're literally putting a description into AI, and the AI is like, write a book like Game of Thrones. And the AI is like, all right. And then it just starts to write it for you. You are not actually doing it. Like, I think that's what's weird, to say that the AI, right, by his example here, it says AI can take care of all of that. Now you say, I need a player from move to A to B. Okay. That's it. That's all you typed. I need a player to get from A to B. That's your work as the person, the human, typing into the AI bot. And the AI bot doing all the work. Do I need to work? Not really work. Come on, Jesse Mac. Weird. Stuart believes that there will be an explosion of citizen creators releasing simple AI-generated mobile games and creating a new wave of multiple platform unique experiences, obviously all built in AI. While we think that this is still a little ways off from that, now people can already generate art assets, and ideas are already being generated as well. So Stuart expects to see a pretty fast acceleration on putting the art plus the code plus the level design together, creating some great games in a short while. Dude, I know that paragraph sounds super simple and easy, that everybody can do this, but there's going to be lines crossed and drawn, okay? Rules need to be set. You can't just... AI is being taught, right? So to learn about the pictures, to learn to draw, the AI bots that are out there, things had to be submitted so the AI could learn. Well, people are just taking pictures off the internet and putting them in. It doesn't matter about copyright claims or laws or anything like that, right? So if I want a picture to look like Picasso, the AI wouldn't know who Picasso was unless the AI was taught these are Picasso paintings. Well, if you're taking Picasso paintings and putting it into this program, and the program is now taking all of the information, the person that inserted that content, right? Obviously, there's things that are public and not public, right? But to take someone's artwork and put it into the game or put it into the AI program without asking for permission, that's not cool, right? But there's no laws to stop this from happening. People are just doing it because it's easier to ask for forgiveness. But by that point, the AI already knows what it is. Like if I go into AI and say, The Simpsons, draw me like The Simpsons, it can do it because it was submitted and learned that how to look like The Simpsons, right? You saw the stuff on Twitter recently where they're talking about Disney knocked down a bunch of not content creators, but posts on Twitter because they taught the AI to look like Pixar films. Right? And because they look like Pixar films now the animation looks like Pixar. So they're making faux Disney Pixar art. Now, obviously, as a person looking on the internet, it's pretty freaking hilarious, right? But it's still not cool, right? So now think about this as the AI, okay? Where now you're submitting games, So the AI learns what the games are. So you want the combat like Batman and Batman Arkham. And you're like, hey, AI, I want you to make the combat system like like Arkham. And now it does it because it was submitted and it's learning from that. Well, you still don't own the rights to that, right? You own the rights to play the game. You don't own the rights to take that game, insert it into AI, and AI now learns what that game is and the coding of all that is. You know what I mean? So it's going to be very interesting. Okay. He also says here Microsoft is full speed ahead with AI. With CEO, they're the leaders, right? They paid billions of dollars. CFO Amy Hood and the senior leadership investing resources, time, energy, and effort into this space. Speaking of Copilot, in games, Stewart talked about the possibility of players receiving recommendations of games fitting in their taste and moods. So if you like Starfield, but you're in the mood for something spooky, a Copilot-like AI can help. Right? In this example, he says, we see you like this kind of game, so your friends play these types of games, and you should play Dead Space. Pick a game like that. I don't know if I like that, because there's times that I play games. I mean, it's recommendations, like from you guys. You're like, hey, did you try this game? You're like, it's not really my style. But I don't know if I want to do AI, because this happens in YouTube, the algorithm. Like, sure, there's videos that I want to watch, and then it recommends more of those videos to me, but there's also, if I keep watching those videos, I'll never watch anything else, and I don't like that. I like learning and watching different things. I'll watch a video about video games, and then I'll watch a video about history, and then I'll watch a video game about a guy cutting lawn, or I'll watch a video of a guy making a wallet, right? Like, if I just watched one type of video, then I would be such in a bubble. I don't like that personally, but that's just me. Stewart sees Copilot like example of recommendation engine as a huge value driver for consumers. This creates monetization opportunities for the company as well, because it gets people into more games and playing more often, and that's kind of our secret sauce, he says. Moving on to the recent completed Activision Blizzard acquisition, Stewart explained that it's all about and that pace of the integration between the two companies is considerable. He says, but really, at the highest level, it's leveraging Activision is so good at, which is consoles and PC and mobile, and you can take that great DNA and make it accelerated into the IP. Also, that we have leverage at the great assets that they can have and experiences that they have. And thankfully, we both talk a gaming language, and even if a few months since we've been entitled, the speed of which, I'm sorry, yeah, the entitled of the speed of integrated with the speed in which you've worked together is really impressive. Now, Stewart continued by describing the opportunity created by the acquisition on a mobile platform. Activision, Blizzard, and King are known how to launch IPs on mobile and how to develop them, and now iterate quickly, and then the DNA is gold. Now that Microsoft can leverage the know-how is with the own IP addresses and billions of gamers that companies couldn't reach before. Stewart sees a possibility of providing players with a variety of content on top of Microsoft's own mobile games on the casual end, and the citizen developers mentioned before could be build a simpler games like Microsoft, Activision, and Blizzard could AAA and high-end experiences like Halo, Minecraft, Call of Duty, and Diablo. So they're literally looking for you and me to make our own games through AI just to fill the gap, to fill the store, to give more content, right? So what I see them by just saying that is that they're going to have their own storefront, like Apple has the App Store. And you and me could be able to make a game through AI and submit it to those things and like kind of just fill in, right? So they'll make money off of us. We'll make very little money off of them. And we're just more fluff in between while they're making their games. So Activision is capable of launching a Call of Duty every year. And according to Stewart, that's a huge feat due to the amount of developers they have and to work and put into it. And now Microsoft gets to ride along the wave with them. He's added that their learning from Call of Duty team has been very, very valuable. Stewart also mentions that Activision Blizzard games have gone from a lower margin third-party entities to high margin first-party. Call of Duty on Xbox will also go from low margins to high margins on Microsoft and will be able to drive high margin sales on PlayStation and Nintendo as well. Interesting, Stewart also talked about World of Warcraft, mentioning that it has a subscription, which is high margin business. So that brings a high margin business into traditional low margin business when you think about the Xbox console and hardware. Look, I've talked about this. I talked about this a year ago when they were mentioning, or almost 2 years ago, when they mentioned they were picking up. I said, can you imagine if World of Warcraft gets on Xbox, on the console? And then we talked about like a month or two ago, where there's 124 million people at some point bought and paid for a subscription for World of Warcraft. Now, I'm not saying all those people are coming over to Game Pass, but can you imagine? Like, think about it, what he's saying. World of Warcraft mentioning that the subscription, which is a high margin business, that's Game Pass, right? Just take World of Warcraft out of that, okay? Talked about subscription service, mentioning that the subscription, which is a high margin business, subscription is a high margin. So that it brings the high margin business into a traditional low margin business, which is selling consoles. And when you think about that, Xbox console and hardware. So now you don't need Xbox, first off, to get the high margin for the subscription. You can get it on a tablet, a phone, a TV, whatever, right? So if they can get World of Warcraft on the consoles, boy, that's going to be a game changer, right? And I have a video about that. You can go check it out. So Microsoft is expanding and leveraging first-party subscriptions and advertising on all high-margin businesses that the company wants to expand into. While this is not announcing anything broadly, Stewart explains that the Xbox mission is to bring first-party experiences and subscription services to every screen that can play a game. I've been saying this for 6 years. I said that they're going to put the app on television sets. Now we're in that time, right? 6 years ago when I said that they're going to do that, that wasn't a thing. Now we are living in it. Samsung televisions, apps on the phones, all that stuff, right? That means smart TVs, means mobile devices. That means what you would have thought as computer or competitors in the past, like PlayStation, Nintendo, we're going to NVIDIA's GeForce Now and their gaming subscription service. This is a big right here where he says this means it would have thought as competitors in the past, like PlayStation, Nintendo. That means they're in talks. For him to say that out loud, to say that competitors in the past, but they're not now, PlayStation and Nintendo. Okay. Now, obviously, on the surface, PlayStation fans would be like, "Hell no, I don't want Game Pass on PlayStation." But I've been saying this for years. I said, "Watch, they'll get it on there. They'll get it on there. They just want their piece of the pie." That's where they're gonna talk about what they're doing, right? Because if Xbox can bring Xbox to all competitors, if you can play Game Pass on a Switch, if you can play Game Pass on a PlayStation, and PlayStation gets a 30% cut, and Nintendo gets their 30% cut, that's more gamers that can play on those devices, and it wouldn't matter. Okay? But hey, who knows? Activision acquisition allows Microsoft to bring in businesses to these endpoints is much faster and compared to trying to do it on its own. Stewart also talked about fact in 6 or 7 years ago, Microsoft stopped announcing the number of consoles it sold, but they was making a point saying that the business is about content and services, more consumers spending more money. That's exactly right. Exactly right. And this is what I've been saying, again, for years. And I know I'm a small channel. I know I'm just a crazy guy on the internet. I don't have a big following or anything like that, but I have receipts. You can go back and listen or watch, okay, on Generation X Gaming. We've done 373 episodes over 9 years, and I've said all of this. I said before the Xbox Series S and X came out and they were doing Game Pass, I said the future is they're not even playing the same game. They just want to get out there. They just want to get as many people as possible to play games, and yet the consumers are still stuck on this PlayStation versus Xbox. But PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo, they're all in the same business. Okay? They're all in the same business. They're all shaking hands with each other. They're all have their territories. It's like a gang. Okay? Gangs control certain areas, okay? But together, they're working cohesively, but if you cross their territories, that's when they get upset, okay? But together, they all rule over the thing, okay? So Stewart likes the Game Pass model because it's paid annually instead of having a bet on a big game launch every quarter or every year. Smoothing the industry is seasonally out. Seasonally out. It's also talked about business model diversity, okay? Gamers can subscribe to Game Pass, buy games digitally, or have advertising fund their gaming. And also, however, they want to monetize. Microsoft is trying to find a way for them to spend money within the Xbox ecosystem, and that's a very good accelerated into content and service landscapes. Again, they just want you in the Game Pass. They don't care how they get you in. People are worried about the Starfield numbers. Let me tell you something. Starfield, okay, is going to be there next week. It's going to be there a year from now. It's going to be there 5 years from now. It's going to be on the Xbox platform. And if you want to go play that game somewhere down the line, there's a new tissue in the box that people pull out, and there's a brand new person that's never played that game before, and they've never been on Game Pass before, and they're like, oh, what's this Game Pass? Oh, $10? Holy Christ, I get all these games? You guys are delusional if you think that people want to spend $70 every time a new game comes out when they look at Game Pass and go, wait a minute, I could pay $17 and I can play on PC and Xbox or my television set, and I get all of these games? Seems like a pretty good game decision to me. If you like games, I don't know. It says this also helps geographic expansion, as there's areas of the world in which consoles aren't widespread. That's right. Everyone's in like this, like, delusional state that there's only 250 million people, right? Like, even if PlayStation sold 150 million PlayStation 5s, there's overlap there, right? Like, there's people that own an Xbox that also own a Nintendo, that also own a PlayStation. It's not like there's 150 million people that just have PlayStation and nothing else, right? But the giant pool is like 320 million people that play on console. If that's Nintendo, Xbox, or PlayStation. That's basically the United States, right? Right? That's basically the United States. Then there's everybody else in the world. Everybody else. We're just like a little fraction. Okay? So everyone's like, oh, we're the kings. They don't care. Have your fictional first place trophy and whatever you want. Because trophies don't get you anything. The money gets you stuff. And if there's 100 million people that could potentially, new customers that can play on a television set or an iPhone or a tablet or a PC, that's 100 million more people that won't have an actual console, if that's Nintendo, if that's PlayStation, or if that's Xbox. Stewart also explains that the move to Game Pass Core from Xbox Gold has motivated by the idea that paying for multiplayer feels adequate. Well, you know what? Fuck you, Xbox. Okay, or fuck you, Microsoft. We've been saying this for years. Why are you charging to play for multiplayer when you can play it for free on PC? Same with you, Sony, right? Charging people to pay where you can pay the same game on PC. Hated that. Always said, why are they charging for this? I already paid for my internet, right? But now I got to pay for, because they're providing a service. They're providing nothing. But Microsoft has millions of people doing it, so they decided to mitigate, grant them to Game Pass. Oh, migrate. Jesus, I'm okay. Just had a little stroke there. Decided to migrate them into Game Pass catalog. So when the gamers experience the value of Game Pass, they also going to opt in to upgrade the higher tiers to get the full experience and cloud streaming. On top of that, Stewart believes that the Game Pass creates a great relationship with gamers. He goes in here and says, one of the great things about gaming is you find a way to drive value to gamers that they're also paying for the value that it's also enjoying. It's actually great relationship. They don't feel like they're being grinded down on the dollar. Like, I'm paying $17 a month and get access to hundreds of games, and the value is there. And for us, we offer most of our games. Is not all we've also had before Activision. When the game launches, it includes the Game Pass as well. So that's one of the unique value propositions that we have. Goes on and says, we also hear that Microsoft's framework as a whole company allows Xbox to focus on efforts on the best games that we want the best for the best business, leveraging Microsoft where possible to do it quickly. Interesting, he concluded by talking about Microsoft measures of success in gaming. He explained that it's a big and growing market where Microsoft wants to grow its shares. He says, success for us is to keep growing the content and service revenue double digits. If we want to grow faster, the market is growing. We're taking shares of the gaming market. And that's where we want to be. It's a $250 billion market, and we're not at $250 billion. Earlier this we walked the office. Phil Spencer, who runs Xbox, and I are both taken on the jobs about the same time, and we've known each other for about a decade before that. He says, we're like, let's go do this gaming thing. We walked into the office, and there was also going to spend $2.5 billion on this thing called Minecraft. Jokingly, he says, a blocky game. You chop down trees, $2.5 billion for this thing. It turns out that is the best acquisition ever made in history. Imagine that, right? You're sitting there like, hey, I got this great game for you. It's a really shitty looking game. It's really blocky. All you do is go around and chop down trees and build stuff. So it's like Legos, sort of like Legos, but it's really ugly. And yeah, it's really blocky and it doesn't look good at all. We're going to pay $2.5 billion. They're like, $0.5 billion. All right. Well, that with a B, right? B, billion. All right. Hold on a second. There you go, Phil. There's a $2.5 billion check. Don't go spend it all in one place. Oh, okay. But he said, I don't want to talk about Minecraft. Tell me what you're gaming. We put down the deck we had for the acquisition. There was a moment that Phil and myself and Amy Hood, why was Microsoft in gaming? This was 8 or 9 years ago. The answer really wasn't why Microsoft was in business. It's also a big growing market and their ability to take the win to share. This is why the gaming at Microsoft, of course, we have a leverage assets, of course, and we need consumer brands and Microsoft as it meaningful. In my opinion, you can just be all commercial led, and you have to have good consumers lens too. But at the end, it all grows shares and big growing market. That's all we need to do here. That's some good stuff. I mean, and you can see what's happening. I'm glad we found this article. Right? Seems pretty cool. I mean, as far as an outsider looking in, again, not an Xbox fan. I own an Xbox. I play games on Xbox, but I'm not like, woo. I don't have my Xbox flags and jersey and stuff. I mean, everything that was said from the CFO, the chief financial officer of the company, of Microsoft, basically said everything I've said for the last couple of years, but now he said it out loud. So now people know it's true. Where before I said it and I was just a crazy guy on the internet that nobody knows and still nobody knows. Okay? But I said it. And now it's actually, I've manifested it into Microsoft, right? Some guy in his house said the same thing the CFO discussed half a decade ago. Amazing. I mean, ugly, shitty games make bank look at Candy Crush. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter about graphics, right? It matters about the appeal. Look at Fortnite. I'm not saying it's a shitty looking game, but they didn't think. Epic in no way, shape, or form, okay, thought when they made Fortnite, because they worked on Fortnite for 7 years to make these Save the World, and they literally pivoted in 3 months. 7 years to make Fortnite. It came out and bombed. And then they went, maybe we should do what PUBG's doing. And they're like, yeah. And PUBG's like, what are you doing? You guys are just basically just stealing. And they're like, yeah, shut up. You used our engine. And they're like, oh, shit. And then they just started selling cosmetics. And then all of a sudden, Epic Games is like, you know those 5 games we were working on? Shit can all of it. We're just living off of this. What do you guys want to do now? Oh, you want to buy a studio? You want to buy some technology? You know what? I hear Steam's really good. Why don't we do a competitor to Steam? We'll just blow money on that left and right. How much money we made? 26 billion? That's not all right. Good. Like, what? In no way, shape, or form was Fortnite a game that was going to succeed. And I actually liked Save the World. I was one of the early adopters, okay, to get that. Dreamcast guy video on Starfield. Oh, I have to watch that. Should we watch it? Is it a long one? I think Fortnite is ugly. Can't do the bright colors, cutest character models. Look, I think Fortnite is good. I do. I think it's a good game. I still like Save the World. I think there's more to there that they could do with that game. I'm not a big fan of battle royales. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's PUBG. I don't care if it's Call of Duty. I don't care if it's Battlefield. I don't care if it's Fortnite. I'm just not a big fan of battle royales. But we did play it. We played it, and I enjoyed my time playing Fortnite. I think Fortnite itself, if you strip the guns and stuff out of that, if you make Fortnite into a game like Second Life, I think that would be even more successful what they're doing. Not just guns. Like, you could do whatever. It's the metaverse. Like, Epic is making Fortnite, and Fortnite is going to be the metaverse. So if Epic went up against Facebook, I'm sorry, Meta, okay, I think Fortnite would succeed more than Facebook would inside the metaverse based on the IPs, all the stuff that they have put into Fortnite for cosmetic-wise and brand deals and whatnot. Now, it'll be interesting because licensing is very expensive. Okay, licensing is very expensive. So all the cosmetics of like Marvel and DC and Transformers and whatever else they bring into there, right? Star Wars, at some point, they're not going to want to pay that licensing fee anymore for using those skins or whatnot, right? So it'll be interesting to see what happens if all of a sudden skins won't be able to be used in the future, but they continue using... maybe they go from Fortnite to the game it is to Fortnite universe or verse, whatever you want to talk about. If those skins will come over, right? Or if you have to like buy them again, or if the contract only ends with Fortnite. Maybe they take Fortnite and just kind of blend it into the next thing so it never leaves Fortnite and make a separate game. They just keep it within Fortnite itself. I don't know. But it would be interesting to find out. That's a good article. I like the insight and stuff like that. Yeah, the comments. A lot of people are like, "Yeah, I would love to see Xbox on PlayStation and Switch." Yeah, to me, Xbox is just trying to get. It doesn't matter about console sales. For some reason, people are like obsessed with, like, I'm not a stockholder, and even if I was, I wouldn't really be concerned with how many Xboxes did you sell. Like, I don't care. Most of these people that are fanboys of one side or the other, they're like, they feel like they're part of they're on the chair of boards, you know? They're like on the board, and they're like, oh yeah, did you see that sales? Like, no. Cares. Majority of the population doesn't care about the sales. They're just like, hey, when's the next game coming out? Oh, that game looks good. When's that coming out? What day? All right, cool. I'll buy it. They don't care. Ron says Fortnite needs a kart racing game. Don't they have kart racing? You can have kart racing in the game, Ron. I think it's player made. You can actually have just car races. But that's exactly what they want, Rose. Right? Rose says, Dave Rose says, heck, I'll lean PlayStation, but I'll love to have Game Pass on PlayStation when I can play Gears of War without having to buy an Xbox. Bring it on. Right. But that's where Microsoft wants to go. Microsoft says, look, you don't have to buy our console. We just want you to play more games in more places. Everyone's like, nope. Never going to beat PlayStation. You're never going to beat us. It's like, as a consumer, you shouldn't care who's winning or losing. You just want games to come to you. And if you could buy a PlayStation or an Xbox, right, and then play PlayStation games on your Xbox or play Xbox on your PlayStation, it shouldn't really matter because where the future's going, it's about the games they own and the services that you're providing. Eclipse says, yeah, I was one of the those early haters of Fortnite, but out of all the BRs, I give them credit. Every season is different. You feel like you're playing a different game every time you come back. Yeah, they've done a fantastic job with that game. You can hate it. Gotta respect it. Xbox is going rogue. Jesse Max says, I'm not surprised if Fortnite does the Last of Us X with Fortnite. Could be. Look, me and Sarge talk about the G.I. Joe game, like the Battlefront game. Imagine if they just signed a deal with G.I. Joe, Hasbro. They already have Transformers, right? You make a standalone game mode inside of Fortnite where it's just G.I. Joe. Open map like it is, and you're using the vehicles from G.I. Joe, and it's a cartoon like G.I. Joe, right? If you could build a Battlefront within Fortnite itself as a game mode, right? Just do a test. Sign a contract. Here, I'm going to manifest this. Fortnite, I would like you to make a G.I. Joe collab, okay, where it's just a game mode, limited time. Make G.I. Joe, you put all the G.I. Joe characters in with all the vehicles. You take the G.I. Joe and you put them on the map. It's just a big Battlefront battle with G.I. Joe inside of Fortnite. I'm in for it. Limited run game mode.
Thanks for becoming a member.
Gamefire, thank you very much for the 7 months. Do I have to thank you after my voice already thanked you? I don't know. I'll give you double thanks. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the 7 month support. Yeah, I don't see why. Here's the mentality I have, right? Or the people have, not me, right? If you're playing a game, right? The concept of this, right? Good Papa, thank you very much for the 10 months.
Thanks for becoming a member.
Right? Imagine being in a world where you're playing Starfield, right? And you're like, well, or not Starfield. Sorry. Let me pick a live service game with microtransactions. The people that complain and go, well, microtransactions, you don't have to buy them. They don't do anything for you, so you don't have to deal with that. You could just play the game. Now, I'll take the same mentality, okay? But say that you're bringing Game Pass to PlayStation, and PlayStation fanboys that tell you, well, you don't have to deal with the microtransactions. You can just play the game. That's fine. If Game Pass was on PlayStation, they would be upset because it's on PlayStation, even though they don't have to deal with it if they don't want to, right? Didn't want it. You don't have to pay for it, so you can just ignore it. It's the same. But yet, they don't believe that. Like, no, I don't want that touching my PlayStation. Like, I don't understand. So, you would like to pay full price on everything. Because full price to you is like quality. Cool. Cyberpunk 2077. Full price? Incomplete. Battlefront or Battlefield 2042? Incomplete. Name another game. Plenty of games you're paying full price for, quality-wise. They're not coming from Xbox, right? These are third-party games that are coming out incomplete, and you're paying full price because of the quality. Yeah, I've been ahead of the game, Reese. I've been ahead of the game. I've been using the AI audio for 3 years, 4 years. Appreciate the 10 months. Thanks for the 7 months. What if Fortnite did something similar to Star Wars Battlefront? Would be insane. They just have almost all the characters within Fortnite. That's what I'm saying. Just take the character, make a limited time mode. You can do Star Wars. You can do Battlefront. What about they made Battlefront 3 within Fortnite? Right? Characters already there. I would play it. I'd play it. Can you imagine people being upset about more choice? Yes. Yes, I can, dude. See, that's why everyone loves Steam people. Just having all the games in one place so they don't have to worry about going into somewhere else to play those games. What I don't understand about the PC Eclipse is that you're still on your PC, right? You're not leaving the PC. But Steam Elites, okay? Steam Elites don't like taking the cursor going from Steam to going Epic Store, right? Same computer, same screen, one icon lower, but they won't go to Epic Store because they don't want their games in a separate folder within the game itself, right? Like how crazy is that? You're like, yeah, no, I'm on the PC. I'm playing on Steam. I got 1,000 games on there. One game's on Epic. They're like, I'm not going to Epic. Not going over this right here. This is too much. All your friends are on Steam, though? It doesn't matter. Dupless. What I'm saying is people have the same issue from playing with PlayStation and Xbox, right? All your friends are on Xbox, so I'm not going to play PlayStation games. You're going to play games where you want to play games. So if you and if you have friends, actual friends that want to play a game together, and that game's only on Epic, you don't think those people would move over to Epic to play games with their friends? Like I don't understand the correlation, right? You're like, I'm playing here because all my friends are here, but here no friends. Here friends, here no friends. Well, if you have friends and you want to play games, you would just Hey, there's a new game on this thing that's not on this. Nope. Not doing it. Not doing it. Well, I'm not that bad, but yeah, some people are. I play Games Pass, Epic, wherever. Some people are just that bad. All my friends are on GameCube. Oh, I wish I had a sad trombone. That's pretty good. Good. All my friends are on Game Pass, which is, Ron, are you one of those people that doesn't plug in your system? Because if all your friends are on GameCube and you're not hooked up to the internet, you really have no friends anyway. You missed it yesterday. We found out that most people don't plug in their systems to hardwire their systems when they play online. Xbox and Activision Blizzard are merging at a really impressive speed. That's right. We found out rooters. Rooters exist. I can't even say it how they say it. I love how British people speak. I love how British people speak. That's the actual language. EA has a new patent that enables players to make their in-game characters speak with their own voices. Interesting. Players input speech, and the technique replicates their voice. Yeah, I'm not really... I don't have a problem with this. My voice is on the internet already. But it is a little weird that you're going to submit your own voice so you can hear your own voice. And most people don't even like the way their voice sounds. That'd be interesting to see. Come on, Paul. There's actually no topic today. I went to the dentist this morning, and I'm kind of just going off the cuff here. Going off the cuff today, Paul. Ooh. Sonic Movie 3 in theaters December 20th, 2024. I like the first two Sonic movies. I think they did a good job with them. See, I love titles like this, right? I'm not going to click on it just because it wants me to click on it. Cult of Lamb to add sex to the game next year. And I kind of want to click on it, but not really. Because, one, I don't care about Cult of the Lamb, and two, I don't care if they add sex to the game. Now, I'm assuming when they mean sex, they don't mean like... I think they mean like male, female sex, like choice. Now I kind of want to click on it to see what they're talking about. I'm not gonna do it. Not clicking on it. Not gonna click on it. But I guarantee you that's what it is. Is this dude... Is this guy gonna be breaking some concrete slabs? I'm gonna watch this first to make sure it's safe for the internet. And then I'm gonna post this up here. Let me see. We're gonna see. God, I hope he doesn't do it. Impressive. Okay. Let's watch this man. This man right here. He's gonna take this block and he's gonna break it. Watch the technique. Watch it. Right here. As he goes in, he's stepping on it. He's making sure that it's nice and sturdy. He's stepping on it, making sure, showing you that it's real. Piece of granite. Piece of cinder block. Got the brick in front of there. He's ripped as fuck. Gonna punch right through this. Now, chat, do you think he's going to bust his hand or bust the brick? Find out in just a second. I gotta go check the door. All right. So you think he's going to break his hand? Or do you think he breaks the brick? This is intense. The guy behind him, he looks really concerned. And then this woman looks like it's a joke. The bottom brick hits his nuts. Good, Sarge. Could be. Right? Could be. The dude says, body like stone, mind like meatloaf. Reese says, I want a broken hand. Close the door. Sorry, come here, bud. Buddy. All right. Z says it hits him in the balls. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Now, hold on a second. Hold on a second, because that was fast, man. Fast. I mean, that bottom brick barely moved. I don't think it's an edit. No, that's not an edit. You can see the back. You can see the back breaks. Yeah, there's no edit there. There's a little waver though right there. I mean, obviously they're using a cell phone. I'm trying to see if there's there's no because I'm looking in the background, right? I'm looking in the background. Hold on, I'll play it in full speed again. I'm looking in the background to see if anyone shifts or moves, and everyone is dead. There's a sway right there. It is weird that she's holding the book like that. All right, let's now here's a thing that I'm looking at, right? One, obviously, I'm being a little skeptic. Not saying he couldn't do it, because there are people that can do it. Okay? But watch how when he places it down, okay? He places it down. Now, right here, if you guys can see my marker, is where it breaks, right? It breaks like right over here. Now, when he steps on it, he's right on the point where it would break. Okay? Now, it looks like he's putting his full pressure, so I believe that, but he's putting more pressure at the bottom. Now, when he picks it up, watch where he puts his hand. He puts his hand where the actual thing breaks. Right? Right where it breaks. That's so fast. That's so fast. And it breaks. Oh, it breaks lower. It does break lower than where he was holding it. So I'm mistaken there. That's impressive. What's wrong, buddy? Come here. Here. My dog's in the house because we have someone working outside. He's just staring at me like, bro, I want to go outside. Pretty impressive. It looks weird like that, though, right? At full speed? Like, watch this. At full speed. That's crazy fast. Yeah, when he hits it, the brick moves. When he puts the power onto it, you can see it right when he hits it, right? Boom. It hits. Everything moves like it should. Oh, you know what though? Hold on a second. Oh, he picks up that brick. Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything. You can even watch his front foot there. It actually hits the brick when he punches. So yeah, there's no frames. There's no frames taken out. Mad skills, dude. That's mad skills. Very impressive. I respect his fist to board style. I wonder what kind of damage he would do with that punch. to somebody's like chest. Like, cause he's bringing that whole power, everything. Cause he doesn't even do full extension, right? He doesn't even do full extension with his arm afterwards. It's just a pa. So he's not even full extending and putting all that power out. I don't know if you want to say like his full chi or whatever. Just bam, just right through his fist into that brick. That's crazy. I got a feeling that guy worships Bruce Lee for sure. See it. Buddy. I want to go outside. How much force we need to break that? More than I could do, I think. West. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. First, we need to know the brick know that the brick can, without breaking, support force such as greater than its own weight. The bricks at the bottom of the wall are supporting the weight of the many bricks and other loads above them. The force required to break the brick is much greater than 180 N. I don't know what that means. How much pressure can a brick withstand? All right. So if we measure the strength in PSI, concrete blocks, some out on top over bricks, the former can withstand 3,500 PSI. Limited found at 3,000. So you got to hit a brick with 3,500 pounds of pressure, like, of hitting it. And you punch a brick. A human punch a brick. Depends on how thick, but a normal brick wall, no. It can probably break it with a punch, but actually going through the brick is not going to happen. The brick are way too small. Oh, so you need a bigger brick to break. Too small of a brick. It says concrete block only need to be deflected 1 millimeter before breaking, but since the material is less bendable than wood, the displacement requires 2,500 to 3,000 newtons, which also some energy is lost upon collision. The fist needs to exert even more force than the order to actually break the block. So it's got to go over 3,000. So 3,500, I think, would be a good. See that? We've all learned something today. Did you fart? The look that my dog just gave me. The look that he just gave me. Dude just crop dusted me. Yeah, of course. Of course. It has the leverage up against the bricks. That's why he had the big brick at the bottom, a bigger one to support it. And that's why when he punched it, it broke where it broke. I think it's real. Dogs are assholes? No, cats are assholes. Cats are assholes. And they know it. Dogs are just dumb. And they happen to be an asshole moment. Yeah, I just read that, Eclipse. I said it on stream. Cats are the devil. I'm looking at other videos or whatever. Trying to find news or whatever. Oh, I want to talk about this. Where is here it is. Did you guys see the Vanity Fair spread on the Fallout show that's coming out? I'm impressed. This is the show that's coming out. Okay. Look at that armor, man. Look at that armor. That looks good. That looks good. That looks great. Right? Look at the practical makeup and stuff on that. I'm excited. I'm much more excited about this than I was the Halo show, which I never watched. This looks good. Look at that armor, man. That is fantastic. Who's the director? I'm not sure. I would have to look that up. Sorry, you got to sit down, bud. Hey, good boy. Hey, it's a good boy. Comes out in 2024. Let's see. Series directed by Jonathan Nolan. So Jonathan Nolan is, I believe, Christopher Nolan's brother. Yeah. Jonathan Nolan is Christopher Nolan's brother. So he's done some writing. He wrote for Westworld. He did Person of Interest. He did Interstellar. He did the screenplay for Dark Rises. Dark Knight, he did the screenplay. Prestige, he did the screenplay. And Memento, he was the short story Memento directing. He's directed a couple episodes, 3 episodes in Westworld, and he directed 1 episode in Persons of Interest. And then he's doing the Fallout. So there's hope. There's hope. Yeah, I'm excited. These shots, man. Shots look great. Can I I can't zoom in anymore. Oh, I can. That looks good. I think there's enough wear and tear on there. I don't think it needs to look like super. Yeah, it looks good. I'm excited about that one. Yeah, that Halo show, man. Wasn't a big fan of the Halo show. Look at Jim Ryan. He's like, at the same time, he's like, I'm happy I'm getting out of this. But at the same time, get that goddamn camera out of my face. Got the little smirk on his face. The tweet says that white t-shirt and smile tells me that Jim is ready to hit the golf course. Fallout series coming out on Amazon Prime Video. Yep. Just having Nolan involved. Well, it's his brother. It's not Christopher Nolan. Jonathan Nolan, the lesser of the brothers, as of right now. He's making a name for himself. But Christopher Nolan is the more popular Nolan. Not taking anything away from Jonathan. Got to start somewhere. My dog stands up, walks to the door. I turn around, he looks at me like, oh shit. And then he lays back down. You got Power Wash. Okay, so PlayStation Plus this month has 3 games. You got 2K Drive, you got Power Wash Simulator, and you got Sable. Now, I've played Power Wash, and I've played Sable. Both good, chilled, relaxing games. I haven't played Lego 2K Driver, but I hear they're fun. Four. But buddy. What else we got here? 50% off on CD Projekt Red is now working on Witcher 4. I love I love seeing this stuff, right? I love seeing this stuff because even Hallmark knows. Even Hallmark knows. What does that say? I want people to read it out loud. Spider-Man and Miles Morales. It doesn't say Spider-Man. It literally says Spider-Man and Miles Morales. It's a Hallmark. It's a Hallmark keepsake. Amazing. It. Hallmark, you're racist. Fantastic. I just think I think it's hilarious. At this point, I'm pretty sure that Marvel doesn't want to make Miles Morales Spider-Man. Because the branding is around Miles Morales. So here's the conversation. The people are talking about how Starfield. So Richard Hoaglaw, I follow him. I've been following him for years or whatever. He's got good takes and stuff. Now, he's on my side, it looks like. I literally just saw the comment, right? He says, not sure the product maker responds to feedback as quite the scandal some are portraying it as. Right? Juicehead says, Bethesda's responding to negative Starfield reviews on Steam. Absolutely bizarre. If you ask me, and despite the media attention, it hasn't stopped. The last response is from today. Okay? There are people asking, how is this being framed as bad? Whoever is responding is doing it in a pretty respectful manner, addressing some of the concerns and design choices, and that should be okay. And Richard Hogue says, I don't honestly know. Starfield is just a gamer war's minefield. And I think he's correct there. I think no matter what Starfield or Bethesda does with this game is like this shouldn't even be a news story, because now I'm not going to take the time, because I'll be honest, I don't give a shit that far. Okay? But I would love people to look at any other game that's out there that a developer commented or someone said, because you don't even know if it's a developer. This particular situation, you know it's a developer. But if people respond to a negative by combating it with another positive spin on what they say is negative. I don't know. It says this is kind of let me show more replies here. Doesn't conflating the issue add to the war mindset? They said it's odd, so it's not sure what the point is to call it a scandal. I mean, it's a scandal because there's like 17 articles written. This is kind of a thing that people want. We want to know the concerns are heard. And if the case, I want more companies to call out the BS when it's said on them. It's a way of being responding to that makes gamers feel small. But does it make you feel small? Like, I'm putting it as a content creator. If I make a video and I ask you to comment, you comment, am I not allowed to comment to your comment? Am I supposed to just take it at face value and is that what it is? Or am I not supposed to have a conversation? Now, I understand there's a difference between me personally and someone else having a comment and going back and forth and to an entity, right? Like if I was a corporation and 30 and Still Gaming or 30 NSG was a multi-million-dollar company and I responded, would that be any different? You know, I truly asking. Like, what I asked this yesterday. What's the cutoff point? What's the cutoff point of being a person that's allowed to comment and a person that's not allowed to comment? What else are we going to do, though? Actually play the game instead? Spider-Man is the fifth time. This comment's just like a person just taking a shot for no reason. This is Xbox tax. Nah, I don't think it's Xbox tax either. People are incredibly desperate to make this game look bad at any means necessary for some sad reasons. I think there's a little truth behind that, but I don't know. I don't really think... I truly believe, and I said what I said yesterday, it's there because negative media rises above everything else. It rises above everything else. You put a bad post about something, I bet I could do it, right? Even as a small channel, right? I get a couple thousand views on certain videos. I wonder if I talk shit about something and make a bait click, right? Clickbait title where it says like Xbox down in flames or something, whatever. I don't know. I could look it up. Try to figure something out. I wonder if that would be a more higher response than anything else I do, right? Because my titles are not clickbaity. They just are what they are. So it'd be very interesting to see how it's received if I did something. I don't know. I find it weird. It's like, where did Starfield hurt you? Because I feel like it doesn't go both ways, right? I feel like you're allowed to hate a game, and if someone doesn't like your game or movie or whatever, you're not allowed to combat that because they're giving you constructive criticism. But if you are a person that likes something and you put a post out there, which is less of, because obviously if you like something, you're just playing the game, you're not putting a post out there, right? But if you like something, then the person that shits on the person that likes something, that's okay, right? You're allowed to shit on someone if there's a positive, and you can be a negative to that positive, but if something's negative, you're not allowed to be a positive to that negative. That's how I feel like it works. Pretty smart. Look at this. This is smart as hell. Crows are pretty smart. We're all over the place this morning. That's okay. This crow wants a drink of water. Now, obviously, I always look at this and go, why doesn't the camera guy just give him some? But he wants some water, and he's throwing rocks in here to raise the water level. Look at this. He's like, I can't drink enough. He grabs another rock to rise the water. That's crazy. Pretty soon you're going to have so much rocks in there, you're not going to have enough room for water. There he goes. I think you got it. Pretty smart for a bird. I mean, come on. Give him a straw, would you? Give him a straw. Bum, 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 bum. Guess there's only one Spider-Man. Sarge is a little bit behind. What else we got here? Anything else? Let me see what's happening in Discord. If you guys posted anything in Discord. Anybody get codes yet? Oh, I haven't checked my emails yet today. Anybody get a code for Suicide Squad yet? Nothing on my end here. Nothing on my end. Guess we're just not gonna have fun this weekend. I just saw this picture, and instantaneous, I was like, why is Marty McFly's picture, right? This picture from... I was like, wait a minute. Is it quitting time? I'm late. I'm about to get off because we had a short stream today. Jones, I had to go to the dentist this morning. I didn't start till like 11:20. We've been live for about an hour and 41 minutes. We didn't have any topic today. Just talked about random stuff. We had a good article, though. There was a good article I brought up live and just started reading it. about like the CFO of Microsoft talking about what the future of Microsoft is and what they're expecting and what they're going to do. I thought that was pretty insightful. Oof. Look at this. Have you guys seen this? This is The Walking Dead, the video game. The Walking Dead review. It got a 2. A 2. Right? A 2. Meaning everyone thinks that Starfield's a 2, but it's not. Do you know what I mean? Like a 2. A 2. Jesus. That's based off a comic based off a show. Let's hope Avatar can get better than a 2, huh? Sarge says, WTF are you guys talking about? A comment on a comment is a fucking conversation. What I'm saying, Sarge. Oh, hopefully enough backwards compatibility so I can ditch my 360. Like, that is what everyone thinks Starfield gets. Redfall. Redfall didn't get a 2. And Redfall was an incomplete game. How bad of a game do you have to be to get a 2? I mean, do they have a video on it? You see. Actual 2s are unplayable. Here's the great part. I don't think IGN did a video review, did they? They did the official trailer, but I don't see them. I don't see them making an actual review of it. They have an article of it, so we'll have to watch. We'll have to watch the Game Bolts. Hold on. A 2.
Even though 2023 has delivered a litany of stellar games that we're going to be talking about for years to come, it's also had an oddly high number of releases that have attracted attention for all the wrong reasons. From Redfall to Lord of the Rings Gollum to more recently Skull Island Rise of Kong, there have been quite a few notable contenders for the ignominious Worst Game of 2023 crown. Games that have not only failed, but failed so spectacularly that the masses have been forced to sit up and take notice. And I'm afraid to say that another game has just joined that list.
You think I'm gonna start taking orders from you? I don't think so, bro.
Wait a minute. Is this cutscene broke or glitchy, or is this how the cutscenes are? Oh, this is beautiful.
That'll be the day.
That'll be the day. What, you got something you want to tell me?
The Walking Dead Destinies, published by Game Mill Entertainment, the same company that also inflicted the aforementioned Skull Island on gaming audiences, is in—
Wait a minute. The same company? Oh my god. The same company that did Kong Skull Island is the same company that did this? Oh, take their license away.
An unequivocal mess. Even the most disastrous of games often have at least some redeeming qualities, but I struggle to find any of them here. On a conceptual level, Destinies has an intriguing premise, but it fails in executing even its most fundamental and basic ideas so spectacularly. It almost doesn't feel like it's worth it to talk about how it fumbles the relatively more ambitious ones.
Lori, it's Shane. Heading back to camp now.
Hurry on back, you promised Carl some frog catching.
Tell him I'm on my way.
The Walking Dead Destinies covers the first 3.5 seasons of the once-acclaimed TV show, starting with Rick Grimes waking up from a coma in a hospital that's been overrun by the undead.
That doesn't look anything like Rick Grimes, by the way.
And ending with the governor's attack on the prison. Its biggest hook is letting you make key decisions during certain points of the story.
That aiming, that whole mechanic of gun looks terrible. Look at it when he tries to aim. Like, what are we talking about?
Theoretically allow. Its biggest hook is letting you make key decisions during certain points of the story, theoretically allowing you to chart a very different tale from the one that plays out in the show, including completely changing the fates of several characters based on your decisions. On paper, that's certainly an intriguing premise, but The Walking Dead Destinies implements it in the most vapid, uninteresting way possible. Who lives and who dies has little to no impact on how the main story plays out. The important events that happen in the show are going to happen regardless, with some variations from time to time, and by and large, the only thing your decisions will change is the characters that will be present for those events. Even calling what the game does with its central hook the bare minimum would be a charitable description.
Here's the problem I have with games like this, with well-known IPs. Majority of them are cash grabs. At least back in the old days, they were cash grabs. Okay, they're like, oh, cool. People like The Walking Dead. Let's take the title. No millions, right? And then you have games like this that come out and literally ruin it for everybody else. Ruin it for everybody else.
It doesn't help that in virtually every aspect of the storytelling department, The Walking Dead Destinies keeps falling flat on its face. The vast majority of cutscenes are little more than series of still images with voiceovers, and somehow, even they manage to be horribly awkward and stilted.
So that's not a glitch. That's actually how the cutscenes are. They're 3D rendered from the game, and they're not moving. They just stand still and have a conversation.
Voice acting does the game no favors either, with every single character managing to sound embarrassingly awful so consistently that it would almost be impressive if it weren't so painful to listen to. Meanwhile, across its brief runtime, the game also rushes through the story way too quickly, often cutting out crucial sequences or entire characters who, in the show, were very much part of the main cast. Even for the most dedicated Walking Dead fans, there's little of value to be found here.
Broadcasting on emergency channel.
The fact that the cinematics are just like, if you did like a comic book style, because that's what the game originally, or the show originated from, like if you just did it in a 2D form and then did this, I think it would have been better than what you just did. This is terrible.
We'll be approaching Atlanta on Highway 85. If anyone can read me, please respond.
Where the moment-to-moment combat action is concerned, The Walking Dead Destinies blends stealth and combat in linear missions. Though both these aspects are incredibly bare bones. Where stealth is concerned, bugs frequently mar the experience, from enemies being able to see you when they shouldn't, or not.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that. Ubisoft games does that a lot, but a lot of people just kind of throw it off. They're like, it's not a big deal, right? I hate when you're like doing a stealth mission or something, and you're like hiding in a bush. I've told this story before, and I take a silencer and I shoot one guy and I kill him, and then everybody knows where I'm at. I'm like, how do they know I'm behind this bush? How do they know that I'm hiding behind this thing?
Not being able to see you when they should, to prompts for stealth kills often only appearing at oddly specific angles. Even when things do work as intended, it's incredibly easy to cheese enemies and lure them towards you one by one from a distance, thanks to which a feeling of repetition quickly sets in. Combat isn't much better either, especially if it's the melee combat that you're talking about, which, thanks in large part to the game's
can't you get up on a box like Dead Island?
Of a stamina bar. Even on the default difficulty, taking out a single enemy can fully deplete your stamina, which means that you're forced to distance yourself from your foes and wait a couple of seconds while your stamina recovers before you can move in for the next kill. Rather than allowing you to plow through enemies with different melee weapons, the game forces you to step back.
Is this on PlayStation 2? Afraid not. This is current gen.
After virtually every kill, which, as you might imagine, quickly becomes frustrating. Admittedly, things are a little better where the shooting mechanics are concerned, but the most that can be said about them is that they're not completely broken and work the way you would expect from any game that has third-person shooting. But even the tiniest of potential victories isn't allowed to be a mini saving grace, because every single combat encounter in The Walking Dead Destinies feels like an absolute chore. For the most part, the game's idea of difficulty is to blame for that, because anytime it wants to ramp up the challenge, it does so in the cheapest way possible, and just chucks a truckload of enemies at you, which only serves to highlight the game's moment-to-moment mechanical issues that much more. Even in a much better game, that sort of difficulty can be frustrating, but here, it almost feels like excessive punishment for a crime you didn't commit. Simple movement feels awkward and sluggish, not just because the controls are as clunky as they are, but also because of smaller issues that add up to cause frequent frustration, like coming to an abrupt dead stop while running away from a
How do you fuck up a game like this? I don't understand.
horde of walkers because you touched the geometry of a small object. By throwing a bunch of enemies at you in the name of challenge, the only thing The Walking Dead Destinies does is blast a bright spotlight on those core issues. On a visual and technical level, the game is just as much of a mess as it is everywhere else. From the ugliest possible faces I've seen in a game in a long time, to the bland and muddy environments, to the choppy and janky animations across the board, The Walking Dead Destinies feels so technically bankrupt, it would have caught flack for its deficiencies in this area even if it had released 20 years ago. There's no shortage of glitches either.
This game has taken the lead as worst game of the year.
When they clearly shouldn't be, to the kind of bugs that can block
But Water, the same people that released the King Kong game are the same ones that released this game.
progress. I don't want to be too harsh with my criticism here because clearly this was a game built on a tiny budget by a small team, and obviously no one should have been going into it with high expectations anyway, given the fact that the publisher Game Mill Entertainment isn't exactly known for putting out the most polished or well-produced games. But looking at what's on offer here,
The worst game that people know about.
where not even the bare minimum is being accomplished, I find it difficult to cut the game any kind of slack. Quite frequently, we hear
2 shots to the head to kill somebody?
people wondering about how certain games were allowed to get past quality control and be released to the world, and though often there's at least a hint of exaggeration in the notion, in the case of The Walking Dead Destinies, even that criticism doesn't fully capture the depths that the game will sink to. Somehow, with all of the game's many issues, Game Mill Entertainment has the audacity to price it
The first shot was a warning.
at $50, which
50
should tell you
bucks.
all you need to know about how much the publisher was concerned with delivering a product that was actually fun in even the most superficial way possible. Hey, did you know that we had Gaming Bolt upload?
So look, I don't want to hear anyone complain about games that are on the caliber of Starfield. Do you understand that Starfield, how large and gigantic it is? And people are like, "Oh, this game's crap," and it got a 7. Okay, and people are like, "This game is dog water." It's like, no, that is dog water. Gollum, King Kong, right? Redfall, those games are bad. Games like Suicide Squad that's being talked about, or Avatar, or Starfield is not in the same ballpark as a 2. I don't care if you don't like shooting at purple balls on the thing, okay? And I understand those are AAA games, and sure, I guess a 7 or a 6 could be a 1 in AAA world, but those games are nowhere near as bad as games like this.
New video.
Nowhere near. There's no way you can argue that Starfield belongs with those games. There's no way. There's no way. If a person tries to argue that point, dude, that it's a terrible game like that, like King Kong, like Gollum, that person is literally just a troll. They're looking to just stir the pot or whatever. There's no way. There's no way. Oh, I know people will, but there's no way they actually believe that. There's no way they actually believe that. Just looking at this game makes me angry that the devs released this trash. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Oh, they believe it. I don't think they believe it. I don't think they believe it. There's no way. Babylon Fall is not in the same sentence as Starfield, right? I wanted to do the research on the percentage because that story we did the other day about the amount of people that are playing Starfield and it's falling faster than anything. I want to compare that to Baldur's Gate, the game of the year. It's no shade to Baldur's Gate, but 875,000 people played the game, and I think there's only like 100,000 playing it right now. How come there's no articles on the player drop-off for Baldur's Gate 3? Why is there no articles about that? But yet there's articles about player drop in Starfield. Starfield had a third of what Baldur's Gate 3 had. The percentage is higher in Baldur's Gate player drop off than it is in Starfield. How come no one's doing articles about that? Exactly, Kylo. That's what I'm talking about. Where's the slew of articles of Baldur's Gate 3 that the player drop off? I mean, that's a hell of a drop off. And I'm being facetious though, because I don't really give a shit about player drop off, right? But this should show you a major difference on what's happening in the industry, right? The beloved Baldur's Gate 3 that's going to win RPG of the year, might win Game of the Year because politics and people might pick Alan Wake or whatever, okay? And I do believe that this should be Game of the Year. But to show 875,000 people playing the game, and only right now, 84,000 people in the last 24 hours, 113,000, that is a hell of a drop-off. Okay? Hell of a drop-off. But yet, Starfield, okay, Starfield is at 330,000 and 16,000. But there's no articles written. There's no articles written about Baldur's Gate losing player base. Right? And whatever excuse people want to make for why Baldur's Gate is losing people, be the exact same for why Starfield is losing people. I've only put 11 hours into Baldur's Gate 3, and Starfield I almost put 120 hours. Same. I put 11 and a half hours into Baldur's Gate, and I put 170 hours into Starfield. Yeah, you can't tell me there's not a bias. Kyle says there's literally a headline I saw today that Star Wars Outlaws was seamless grounded to space transition, unlike Starfield. Like, what does Starfield have to do anything with Star Wars Outlaws? They got to do anything they can, Kylo. They got to do anything they can. I guarantee you, right? I mean, that's a load screen. So in Star Wars Outlaws, when you get in the ship and it takes off and then goes to space, that's a cutscene, right? That's a load screen. Starfield load screen, when you get in the ship, take off, and then go, that gets shit. I guarantee you Star Wars Outlaws would not get shit for it. Right? 2 games, getting in a spaceship, in a cutscene that you take off and fly into space, okay, and then you take over, okay, and I guarantee you Star Wars Outlaws gets no shit. No shit. Right. Why include Starfield in the headline? You could have put No Man's Sky, Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous. You could have done anything. They got to put Starfield in there. That's what gets clicks. You know what? I think next show we have, we're just going to be shit talking Starfield and see how many people show up. Just for shits and giggles. Shit talking Starfield. We're talking shit about Starfield. I guarantee we'll have more live views than anything we've ever done before. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe. Just put the thumbnail will be Starfield with a smoking pile of turd in front of it. And that's it. And we'll go live. I guarantee you get double your views. I guarantee you break 100. I guarantee you we break 100. But that's not what I am. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is if you're going to call the shit out, right? If you're going to call the shit out, right? No one would click on, nobody would click on Baldur's Gate 3's losing percentage. People would come out in droves protecting the game. But the percentage is gigantic. I don't buy that the Starfield thing's an over-exaggerated. Bros. Come on, bro. You don't think if I put a thumbnail out there that says talking shit about Starfield, you don't think my viewership would go up just for that moment? Todd Howard might see the mean Starfield image. Cry. Come here, bud. Buddy. Oh. Hiding in the corner. If they did come out with the headline and say Baldur's Gate 3 is losing its player base, but not as bad as Starfield. Right, instead of just saying they're losing players. Not losing its players as bad as Starfield, even though its percentage is higher. I think comparisons to other space games are fair, sure. But Kylo's point is, why mention, though, Starfield in a Star Wars game when there's other games that don't do the transition either, right? Even people that are playing Starfield stop the number drop? Do I doubt it? Bros, you do understand, though, that Baldur's Gate 3 has a much, much bigger drop-off than Starfield. Where's the articles? Where's the articles? There's no articles on drop-off for Baldur's Gate 3. Not one. Not one. Not one article. Baldur's Gate 3 player drop-off. There's a Reddit post on August 7th. Not one. Not one article written. One day ago. 1, 2, 3. 6 days ago. 3 hours ago. Here, let me player count. Here, player count. Hey, look, we made it. Starfield trouble. Player numbers dropped. Get to the top of the list. Starfield Steam rating drops to new low as players exodus. It's an exodus. Kylo's point is worst example. You would pick a game with the highest search value to compare. It just needs the headline. It doesn't need the Starfield or any game or the matter in the headline. They already made the point. Exactly, Kylo. Did you say Jewish survivor? You mean Jedi? Did it autocorrect Jedi to Jewish survivor? I was like, what game is that? I was like, did I miss that game? Did I miss that game? Jewish survivor. That's a completely different game. I'm assuming it takes place in World War II. Yeah, right. Right. Takes place during World War II. Lord. That's a I was like, that 1v1 Hitler. That I think everyone can get behind, right? Is it multiplayer online? Oh, you just play one. You just play one of the survivors. Get an AI to make it right now. See, I love how we went full circle with that. Thank you, Rose. Appreciate that. Like how we went full circle. Bring in what we talked about in the beginning, bring it back to the end. Yeah, it'd be like the movie, what was that movie that came out recently? Oh, was that the guy who just, he's going around just killing Nazis. What was the movie called? It was like 3 letters. I want to watch it so bad. Like John Wick, but in World War II. No. Was it called Psy or C or? What's it called? I forget what the movie was called. God damn it. That's it. See you. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Where the guy's like a miner. Oh. He's like a miner. I can't show it because it's pretty brutal. He's just a miner, right? And he goes around and there's like battalion of Germans come over, and the whole movie he's just murdering them. Can we put microtransactions in the game? Yeah, we need lots of horse armor. Well, no, you could buy microtransactions to change the way Hitler looked, and then you can go up against him. I think if you do the art style like Metal Gear Slug, like that. Yeah, who knows? Could be a great game. We'll get AI on it. We'll get AI on it. I want Survivor to move from A to B. Write the code. All right, it's 1:30. I got to go do some stuff. I appreciate you guys coming out for the short stream today. I think it was a pretty good stream for doing absolutely nothing and having nothing planned. We went over one article, bullshitted the rest of the way. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you all coming back and hanging out with us today. We'll be back tonight for some more gameplay, 8 p.m. Eastern. Don't know what we're going to be playing. It's always a surprise to me. We'll be back tomorrow. Schedule's going to change a little bit this week. This Friday, I will not be on Lono stream because I have to go to the dentist again. And then Monday, I will miss the morning show completely because I have to go get my tooth pulled on Monday. So, the new emote is going to be this. Krebsy submitted it the other day. This is what we're doing. Let me show you. This is going to be the emote. Right now it has rip there, but that's going to be the emote. This was a frozen image of Sarge on one of the podcasts where he was like screaming. I mean, this is an emote. This is the perfect emote right here. So I think we have a winner. So that's what it's going to be. Yeah, that's the new one. So I appreciate you guys coming out, hanging out with us, and having a chat. I'll see you guys tonight. And if I don't see you tonight, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.